Sunshine, blue skies and top-class tennis. Day 9 in the French capital has been a good one on all fronts. Good evening and welcome to Roland-Garros. We are creeping ever closer to completing the lineup for the quarter-finals in the main singles draw, and that's what we're going to be focusing on this evening. So here for you is a little bit of what's coming up on tonight's show. Djokovic injured on the edge, but fighting on. Aryna Sabalenka through to her 6th consecutive Grand Slam quarter-final. And it's under the lights for Zverev and Rune in the night session. Now, the night session might be a little bit delayed because there is still action that we'll get to shortly on Philippe Chatrier. But the players have arrived, and when they arrived for this evening's match, they wouldn't have known that there was going to be a delay. So let's run you through, as we like to do. There is Sasha Zverev. He arrived at 4 minutes past 4 this afternoon. We've had players arriving at 9 o'clock in the morning, at 6 o'clock in the evening. But Zverev, who's reached the last 3 semi-finals, 3 consecutive semi-finals here, came in just after 4 o'clock this afternoon to begin his preparation. And Holger Rune, he was just a little bit earlier at 3:57. He's the 13th seed, he's the world number 13. There's his mum, Annika, in the front seat there. So for Holger Rune, who got straight sets in the last round, went to 5 in the round before, he's getting set to face Sasha Zverev this evening, who he has a 1-0 head-to-head against. So we've got so much to get through, so much to bring you. And I'm delighted to say that joining me in the studio is former world top 10 player, semi-finalist at the Australian Open, Luca Puig. Good evening, Luca.
Good evening. Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you so much for being here. And you come on the first beautiful day of the tournament. There hasn't been any rain today.
Yeah, it's been a while. We haven't seen the sun, a blue sky, finally. And we can see that on the faces of people here in the stadium. They are having fun, enjoying the show, so it's great for us.
And for you guys, pretty frustrating, though, because in the doubles, are we going to play? Are we not going to play? It's cancelled, it's moved. I imagine it can be quite frustrating.
Yeah, well, we are used to it now. After so many years on tour, you know, it's a lot of adaptation. You know, you have to wait, you have to find a way to feel well anyway. But it's frustrating to see all this rain and all this delay.
Oh, but hopefully for this week, we're not going to have any more delays. Now, I mentioned that there might be a delay to the start of the night session. It's not due to the weather, it's due to the final match of the day session. And Luca, we have had everything so far in this match with Novak Djokovic, Francisco Cerundolo. Here we've got set point for Novak Djokovic. Cerundolo was a break up in the 4th set. Not only was he a break up, but Novak Djokovic has had the trainer out 3 times for treatment on his right knee.
Well, yeah, if you look at the match, I think you all think that he's gonna, retire and decide, to go out. I mean, he was not moving every time Cerundolo was playing a drop shot. He was not running, but we've seen it already with Novak. He never let it go, no matter what his injury is. He's always trying to find a way to get through, and once again he's back in action. He's in the 5th set. I think Cerundolo got tight a little bit at 4-3, double fault, 2 mistakes. And then now all the crowd behind Djokovic cheering for him. Must be tough for Cerundolo.
It must be tough. When we saw the treatment being given to the right knee, and you can see when this took place in the match, look, there was a lot of pain and discomfort on his face, so I'm sure there is something there. But on the other hand, if it was that bad, he's got Wimbledon coming up, the Olympics this year, he wouldn't have pushed. You know yourself as athletes how bad it is. Yeah,
well, if he's still playing, I think it's because he knows that he can win the match. Otherwise, he would not stay on the court just for the crowd. Or I don't know. I'm sure he has something. I'm sure he is injured. How bad it is, he's the only one who knows. But it doesn't look that bad when we saw him moving at the end of the 4th set. He was, sliding, especially on his left side. But let's see what the 5th set brings.
He will say it was adrenaline. He will say it was the painkillers. And in his mind, as you touched on, he will have thought that possibly Cerundolo may have tightened up, which is exactly what happened because he had the break.
Yeah, I mean, Cerundolo is like every one of us. You've seen it. He has seen player in his situation losing the match. Djokovic playing better and better. So in his mind, it must be really, really tough now.
Yeah.
But let's see. I don't know. I would say Djokovic will win now. I don't see how it can be different.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. We'll keep an eye on that match through the course of the show. There's also other live main draw singles action taking place. Now, this is over on Susan Longland. Now, Fritz had the advantage in this tiebreak. I mean, look at the clock. We're well over an hour just for the first set. But I have to say, from a selfish point of view, I'm quite pleased with this first outcome, as I know, Luca, you are, because it turns out we have both tipped Casper Ruud to win Roland-Garros this year.
Yeah, well, he has been playing so well in the past, and the one who was beating him was always Rafa Nadal, and he is not in the draw anymore. He has been playing so well on clay for the last 2 months. And yeah, 4 weeks ago, I've been saying that he was my favorite. He's still in competition, winning 1 set. Let's see, but he still has a lot of matches to win.
Yeah, and the winner to face the winner of the Djokovic match. Now, we had to go to live tennis, but let me ask you about you and how you are. It wasn't the result you wanted in the doubles today, but how does it feel just to be back here and playing at Roland-Garros? Because you've had such a torrid time with injury.
Well, it's always great, especially feeling the emotion, the crowd behind me. I had some great time, even though it was not the tournament I wanted to be. I lost first round in qualies against a great player, third round in doubles, but yeah, I'm happy, enjoying my time on court, and now my goal is to focus on the rest of the season and try to be back next year here with my ranking, and hopefully I can go far in the tournament.
Yeah, because it's been a real journey for you since undergoing surgery and working your way back, and it must be really tough to have the motivation. You've been in the world's top 10, to have surgery and to come back again. What is it that keeps driving you?
Well, this kind of emotion that I live in Roland-Garros, in the big tournaments, that's the only thing that drives me, and every day that makes me work very hard every day, and hopefully that one day I can be back with my ranking, playing every week on the big stage against the big players. But yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, we wish you the very best with getting that journey.
Thank you.
So Luke is going to stay with me for the entirety of the show because we have lots to look back to. We've got lots to look ahead to. But let's get to the highlights from today. This is a roundup of the matches that have been completed on day 9. And it's just the one match that we have in the men's draw. This was on Susan Longland a little bit earlier. You have Daniil Medvedev, who'll never love the clay. He says he doesn't hate it, but he sort of likes it. And Alex de Minaur, who's having a career-best season on the clay, and he's someone else that hasn't really loved this surface in the past.
No, I think he has a better game for hard court, indoor or outdoor, but especially hard court. But for me, he has everything to play well on clay. He's moving so well. He's very solid. He can generate a lot of pace with his forehand. So yeah, and I've seen on social media that he has his lucky charm in the crowd with this little boy there cheering for him on every game. So maybe it's a year where he's gonna succeed here.
Yeah, we're going to see a little bit of Paul, the young boy he tracked down on social media. He's screaming, "I love it here, I love it here." It's his first Roland-Garros quarterfinal. It's his second Grand Slam quarterfinal. He first achieved that feat at the US Open. As I mentioned, he's having his best run on clay. Daniil Medvedev, he doesn't like the surface. He can really let his head drop, but de Minaur played so well in this match. He is through to the last 8, and here are his post-match thoughts when he was interviewed on court after the win.
I think so much, in my opinion, of Grand Slam tennis is just experience. Because ultimately you can put in all the work in the world, and I believe I'm one to do so, but how you conserve energy, how you use your energy in these long, grueling 5-set matches, there's a lot to learn from. And as you play more, the body gets used to it more. And it's not just the fact that, you play a grueling match and, you can be there for however long it takes. It's about how you bounce back for the next round. And that's probably what my body has now started to get used to. And so mentally I was very calm. I knew that there was a good chance that we could even go into a fifth set. So, I was ready for anything today.
So the super fan you touched on is Paul. Now, Paul was in his last round, and de Minaur said, I needed to find him because he screamed for every single point. He tracked him down on social media and invited him to the match today. So there is Paul. I mean, Paul, he probably got a day off school. I mean, he's having the time of his life.
Well, yeah, I think he's enjoying every single moment. He just came, probably with his parents, in the crowd like everybody else, and now he's like in the Susan Langland restaurant, in the players area, seeing everybody cheering for his best player. Well, it's a love story of Roland-Garros. I love it.
I mean, surely he's going to be back for the quarterfinals. Are you really aware of the fans, like a specific fan when you're on court? Can you hear them and what they're saying?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean we hear everything. We take what we want and we don't take the rest because we hear a lot of things.
Yeah.
But when you hear some positive things, then it's really important. It gives you a lot of energy, a lot of power, and I think that's what that's why de Minaur wants him back.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure Paul will be back for the quarterfinals. I'll be very surprised if he wasn't. Now, in terms of the night session, we know it's going to be slightly delayed, but we're still following the progress of the players because when they arrived today, they didn't know that there was going to be a delay. So it was to the gym. We basically look at there are cameras everywhere, and we just like to follow them. I don't know if you're aware of all the cameras, but we've got Zverev. He was in the gym at 4:23. I guess this is a time you just have a little bit of quiet time. You're just loosening yourself up.
Yeah, well, probably it's the time where he's warming up for his practice. He's gonna probably, probably warmed up at like around 5 or 5:30.
Precisely. This was 5:35.
But yeah,
there you go.
So he was in the gym, starting to warm up for his practice, doing all the stretch,
all the boring stuff.
All the boring stuff that you have to do every single day. But and then he's gonna have dinner probably around 6:30 because he was supposed to play at 8:20 or 8:30.
Yep.
So yeah.
So this is 4:30. This is Holger Rune. I mean that's really impressive balancing. I'm not sure I could do that, but he's getting himself set as well. He went out. I think it was 2 minutes past 5. Once all the boring but necessary stuff had been done, it was Rune's turn to get out. And look, for each player, they have certain set routines and things they need to do depending on how they are in terms of age and fitness, and they'll have their specific routines. Yeah,
well, we are all different, but we mostly do all the same thing. Not exactly the same things, but you warm up, then you go on court for 30 minutes, then you take a shower, you have dinner, then you rest for, 1 or 2 hours, and then you warm up for your match, and then you play your match. It's always, when you're in the tournaments, every day looks quite the same, depending on the time you're playing, but yeah, it's mostly the same every time.
It's different, but it's the same. So that is the gym and that is the training, and we'll try and catch a glimpse of them a little bit later. But as I mentioned, it's going to be delayed the start of the night session, which gives us time to look back on the women's singles fourth round matches as we completed the quarterfinal lineup. And we'll start, Luca, with Elena Rybakina. She is yet to drop a set. It's a 5th career Grand Slam quarterfinal, her first since Wimbledon. And one thing she looks to have improved is her movement on the surface. She's got such a big game and such easy power.
Yeah, she's so powerful. And actually, I would not be surprised if she wins here, because especially this week we have the sun, so the condition will be faster than the previous week. And for her games, I think it suits well. She's serving incredibly well. She plays so fast, so I think the condition for her gonna be good this week. Yeah.
She's 34-5 in terms of her wins and losses this year. The only thing that's hampered her has been illness. So she couldn't defend Rome because she had immune system problems. She hadn't had a lot of build-up coming into this. But if she can stay fit and healthy, I mean, she's dangerous on any surface.
Well, yeah, she's dangerous anywhere. And so far, she hasn't lost any energy. And that's really important, especially in the Grand Slam. Winning for her in 2 sets every time, 1 hour, 1 hour 20. It means that when she's gonna be in quarters, semis, she will be fresh to play and to give everything. So she's she's a good pretender for the title.
No, absolutely. And I think that's key, that she's not spending that much time on court. So she is through to the quarterfinals, her second Roland-Garros quarterfinal, first since 2021, just over an hour on the clock to get the match win. And afterwards, Elena Rybakina was speaking on court.
Well, we work a lot with the team, and we're trying to always adjust a bit the technique. And of course, on clay, it's a little bit more complicated for me with the movement, since I'm tall. But overall, we're doing a good job, and I'm really proud the way I improved in the last few years.
Next up, she's going to face Jasmine Paolini in the quarterfinals. Now, the Italian is having an absolutely phenomenal year. She started the year as the world number 30. She's got herself on the verge of top 10. She was playing Elena Evanesian today, and she won the 1,000 title in Dubai. She won the 1,000 doubles in Rome. She's a very petite character, but having the year of her life.
Yeah, well, I don't know her really well, but I've seen her play because she played a French player in the Billie Jean Cup last year. So I watched the match, and she's playing. Yeah, she's playing well. It's two different players. One is really tall, the one is pretty small, but she has so much energy, moving well. She used a lot of spin with the forehand, drop shots, doing a lot of things on the court, and and. As we can see with her smile, I think she's enjoying the moment and the year of her life, yeah.
Yeah, 20th win of 2024, the 6th Italian to reach the quarterfinals from the women at Roland-Garros. And yeah, that smile is a wonderful thing to see. But boy, is it going to be a tough task taking on Elena Rybakina. Just to keep you up to date, Novak Djokovic went to break up on Francisco Cerundolo in the 5th set, but Cerundolo has broken back. So they're on serve early stages. Aryna Sabalenka, someone else, Luca, who is not spending an awful lot of time on court, and she's now 11-0 in Grand Slam matches this year.
She's so impressive. I mean, I love seeing her play. Honestly, the way she's playing, serving, using her forehand, the pace with the forehand is amazing. No, honestly, I love her, seeing her play. I watched her first set against Badosa the other day. I was in the Philippe Chatrier, and yeah, if she's able to handle the her nerves, I think maybe that this year she can defeat Swiatek in the final. But it's for me she's really impressive.
She's 22-0 in Grand Slam sets this year, which is absolutely frightening. And she's added in the drop shot, so she's added in a lot of touch and feel. She's not just a power player.
No. She's adding so many shots to her game. Every time we see her in the tournament, she's improving somewhere, and then that's the best what they do. The best players in the world, men's or women's, they always try to find a way to improve somewhere.
Yeah, they certainly do. 6 consecutive Grand Slam quarterfinals, a 9th career Grand Slam quarterfinal. Youngest player to make 7 singles Grand Slam quarterfinals in a row since Venus Williams. She goes from strength to strength. The box were absolutely delighted. So Aryna Sabalenka, last year's semi-finalist, back in the quarterfinals. Very smoothly done, hasn't dropped a set. And afterwards, she gave her thoughts in the post-match press conference.
Honestly, I don't know. I feel like I feel quite confident in each conditions. Like I was playing really great tennis when it was cold. Today I played really great tennis as well. It was warm. It was different conditions. So I would say right now it doesn't matter which conditions it's going to be. It's always matter is how focused I'm going to be, and if I'll be ready to fight for every point and be ready for long rallies.
Now, having you here, I'm really sorry that we couldn't bring news of a Frenchman. What a wonderful run for Varvara Gracheva.
Yeah, it's great that she is feeling welcome, and that the crowd gave her so many emotion the last 10 days. She's playing some great tennis. Honestly, she has everything to be part of the best in the rankings, and I wish her. I wish her the best. I think she's really happy with the tournament she has been playing, and it's only some positive for the rest of the season.
But all credit to Mira Andreeva. She's 17 years of age. She battled her opponent, she battled the crowd, and she's into her first Grand Slam quarterfinal.
Well, what can we say about her? I mean, she's so young. I've seen her practicing when she had a problem with the wrist in the south of France at the Olin Academy, and she was working with the left hand every day on court, being very serious, very focused. And yeah, she's really mature on the court. The way she's playing, she finds all the angles. She almost never tactic mistakes, and that's what's impressive at her age.
It certainly is. So let's have a listen to her speaking on court after the win.
It's always tough to play against a friend, against a person you know very well, and I knew that it will be a tough battle, not only game-wise but mental-wise, and I prepared myself for everything, and it was a bit tough to play against a French crowd, so but I'm really happy that I managed to go through it, and thank you for support, not from everyone, but from some of you.
Congratulations, just 17 years of age. Now, we like to go behind the scenes. As we keep telling you, there are cameras absolutely everywhere. And even Lubicic was saying it's a bit unnerving to see so many cameras. Some of the players like them. One of the players that likes them is Aryna Sabalenka. So when she sees a camera, she kind of gets involved. She kind of has a little dance. She embraces it and shows us a different side to her.
Come into the camera so everyone understands.
Not really, because we're seeing this on the social media every day. But that's what I like about her. She's so relaxed out of the court, you know. She's so friendly with everyone, always smiling, laughing, and it's good to see.
It's important to have fun because tennis, it is a serious sport. It's intense and it's pretty much all year round.
It's all year round. We just have 1 month and a half off, so it's all year. So you don't. I mean, if you take it too seriously, it can become very boring. And I think that the way she's taking it, the way she's living the tour, is the best way to do it.
Yeah, it certainly is a very happy Aryna Sabalenka with her. I think it's her second best friend. The first one is Paula Badosa, and then it's Ons Jabeur. Now, as we like to do, we scour through hours of footage every day to bring you what we think is our shot or moment of the day. So here for you is our pick for day 9. He had no right to stay in that point and then to win that point.
Well, that's what we said earlier. He is so fast. It's incredible. On hard, on clay, anywhere, he's moving, sliding. I mean, how can he get that ball behind him? That's unreal, yeah.
That's unbelievable, isn't it? Yeah, that's why that is our shot of the day. Now, back to the action that's taking place on Philippe Chatrier that has delayed this evening's night session. I mentioned that Djokovic was 2 up. Cerundolo got the break back. And then we've had another fall from the current world #1 and the defending champion. He's a fighter. He's toughing it out, but he's also at the same time getting in the head of Francisco Cerundolo.
Well, he has been getting in his head already. Let's see how he reacts to this fall, but I'm sure he's okay. It looks, I mean, I don't know, maybe complaining about the courts now, that I don't know.
But it's tough when you're tough when you're Cerundolo. You're like, is he injured, is he not? How are you? You've fallen. Where am I? While keeping your game plan. And do you adjust your game plan?
I think the best way is to ask how is he, and then how he is, and then, you know.
But then do you adjust your game plan, or do you stick to your original game plan?
No, I think you have to stick to your game plan. You don't have to adjust it depending on Novak. Just focus on yourself, focus on your game, and that's, I think, the best way to try to win the match. If you focus on how Novak is, that's where you can lose your mind and lose your game and start to feel nervous. And that's what he did in the 4th set. So
yeah, he did.
Let's see how it goes now.
We're going to keep a very close eye on it.
We have no idea.
We have no idea. We are going to keep a close eye on it. What we do know is the night session is delayed, but it is going to happen. So let's prepare you for the players who will be taking to the stage under the lights this evening. Before we talk about them, let's get to know and take a look at the 2 players who will be playing this evening out on Philippe Chatrier.
We both want to do well, and he's been playing some good tennis. I've been raising my level as well, so I'm expecting a big fight.
I know that I have to keep focusing. I know that I will play great players ahead still, and I have to focus on that.
I think this is going to be a lot of fun. It always seems to be when Holger Rune, he can get under your skin, opponent's skin, his family's skin, the crowd. I mean, he's just a feisty little ball of energy. And then you've got Sasha Zverev, who's just been fighting through these rounds. Yeah, well,
it's going to be an interesting one. With Holger, who is capable of anything and everything, you know, he's capable of beating the best players in the world, playing some unreal tennis. And at the same time, sometimes he's losing his mind a little bit, his game, and making a lot of mistakes. And on the other hand, you have Sasha Zverev, who is really, really solid, serving really well since the beginning of the tournament. Doesn't make almost any mistakes. So it will be interesting to see. But Sasha on Santo Court, he is tough to beat. We've seen that in the previous round, where he was back 2 breaks down in the 5th. I think he came back. I think it gave him a lot of confidence, and I'm sure that he will be tough to beat. But I would say it's going to be a long, long match.
And despite the fact that we both went for Casper Ruud to win the title, a lot of people did pick Sasha Zverev, and that's partly because he won that title in Rome. He won it so well. And those who hadn't picked him, the win against Nadal, then the fight through against Talon Griekspoor, I mean, he's doing everything right.
Oh yeah, well, what can you do better except winning Rome and then coming to the French Open, and being in the 4th round now, 4th round there.
Yes, replacing the quarters.
I think he's feeling really confident for the moment, and I think what we've seen in the past with Sasha is that every time he's going to the quarters, semis of a tournament, his level increased, and he's better and better. So I'm sure that tonight he's going to be even better than the previous round.
You say that Holger Rune can be anyone on his day. What does his game plan have to be against someone like Zverev with such a big game and such a big serve?
Well, I think he will have to play his game, to be aggressive. Doesn't let Sasha play and dictate the points. I think he has to be the one who is, the more offensive, and that's how he's the best player when he's playing well.
And he's currently the best player in the world on screen. He does have the #1 ranking, but he has to reach at least the final to hold onto it. The live rankings, it's Jannik Sinner. He's held serve at 3-2. Before we leave this evening, any prediction on this match?
Novak.
Very confidently done.
Well, every time this happened in the past, Novak won. So I would say Novak. We've seen it already so many times. He has been injured, feeling sick, and always finding a solution to win. I don't know how he does. I would love to ask him. Maybe after his career he will tell us. But yeah, I would say Novak.
Luca, we really appreciate you taking the time and joining us, and good luck with everything going forward.
Thanks for having me. Thanks.
It's been lovely to have Luca Pouille with us on the show this evening. And I was hearing that Taylor Fritz has got the advantage and the edge on Susan Longlen against Casper Ruud, but we've already predicted that that's going to be a long one with Ruud taking the first set. You can keep an eye on the matches on our social media channels, and Radio Roland-Garros has ball-by-ball commentary, I would imagine, on Djokovic at the moment. They'll keep an eye on Ruud, and then we'll have every ball for you of the night session. Thank you so much for your company once again, and we look forward to having it at the same time tomorrow. Bye for now.